Free thinking and microwaves. Hi, everybody. Vivek here from Meaningful Ideas. Free thinking and microwaves. When I was I had this memory come back to me today because I was microwaving something to eat late at night. It's like 1 a.m. And I had this memory come back to me of being around 15 years old. And I was at an uncle's place and I was microwaving something. And the buzzer went off and I went to press the thing and to take it out. And he said, stop. You have to leave it for a minute. The most cooking that happens in a microwave happens a minute after it's turned off. And in my head, I was like, but there's no power going to it. How is that true? How is that possible? And he was speaking with so much authority, right? He was speaking as an adult, speaking to a 15-year-old. He was speaking with so much authority. And somehow I knew he was wrong. But I also knew I didn't know at that time. But I also knew he didn't know, right? So he was there. Here was this adult telling me, "Oh, this is how you use a microwave," and he was saying it with so much confidence. But I could tell he didn't really know it. I could tell he hadn't studied microwaves. He just read it somewhere and believed it, and that was the thing. I could see that. I could see the adult acting authoritative. But I could see he didn't really know what he was doing, what he was saying, what he was talking about. And under that, I could see insecurity. And at 15, I could see it all. I didn't have the words for it that I do now at 54, but I can remember that moment. It was as clear as day to me. I could see this person. And teens can see adults in ways that we don't realize a lot of the time, right? And I remember that. And when I'm in front of teens, I always imagine they have X-ray vision on. And see me that way, right? Because that way, it pushes me to be really authentic. It pushes me to be really connected to them, and really, really, when I'm appreciative of them, it's not to try and get them to do something that they don't want to do or stop them from doing something they want to do. If I'm appreciative to them, that they know it, right? And then there's a distance. They still might take it in. But it's different than if you're appreciating them because you're seeing their whole humanity, and that's just a beautiful thing. Anyways, but my uncle didn't see that in me, right? So he was like, just use the microwave this way, and I knew. And in that moment, I was around 15 years old, and in that moment, I thought, I am never going to believe something just because I read it, because I didn't want to turn out that way. I could see the unconsciousness in it. At 15, at 15. Kids are still pretty conscious, as they get older and older, they become adults, adults. I saw a picture of my dad not too long ago, 20 years younger than I am now. And he looks so much like an adult. I was like, oh man, I'm so glad that never happened to me, I mean, I'm an adult in a way, right? I'm 54. I teach parenting and I have a business doing that and it's growing and I'm selling courses and I'm going to be selling t-shirts and posters and things like that as well of my sayings, and I'm married and my kid is living out of the house and I'm an adult. But also, I never really got that authoritative, I know better, I'm older than you, therefore your brain development and so I can control you. I never got that, right? It never landed on me. Thank goodness. Of course, it came with like years of rebellion in my teen years and my early 20s and living a very aggressive life, rebelling against everything, rebelling against the power structures and my parents and any expectations society had of me. And I actually got into a lot of trouble in those days and was hanging around a lot of dangerous people, and my life was full of a lot of crime and violence. And I did pull out of it, around the time my kid was coming along, I started to really pull out of it. I found a spiritual teacher who really believed in me and helped me believe in myself. But this is not my life story. But anyways, I'm 15 and I swore that I wouldn't. It kind of is my life story, actually. The philosophy is kind of my life story. But I swore I wouldn't ever believe something just because I read it, and it showed me that there's something about thinking that you can think about, that you can actually choose how you think and reason, and that you can recognize when you're operating under something false and believing it for some emotional reason. Like I kind of saw all of this. So again, I didn't have the words, but I didn't want that, right? I wanted to be able to think for myself, and it's so hard. People who just think, "Oh, I think for myself," but they say the same opinion everyone has. And it's like the comment section it's like a script. I didn't want to be in the script. so desperately. Like it was desperate for me, especially at 15. So then my kid comes along. Now I'm 28, and I'm still pretty wild. I'll show you a picture sometime of my of me in those days. Actually, there's this video of me dancing to my child, saying something like, "I'll give you everything inside of me, and you give me everything inside of you because I love you." And my big beard and my wild hair, and I'm just wild. My eyes are bulging out of my head. Actually, you know what? I'll find the video and I'll try and splice it into this one when I actually, because I'm going to share this. This is live, but I'm going to share it.
Give me everything you got inside of you, and I'll give you back what I got inside of me, because I...
So my kid comes along, and I realize I want her to be a free thinker. I want her to be able to actually think for herself and not in her thoughts imposed by other people. You know, like my uncle who just believed whatever, he just believed it because he read it. I didn't want that for her. And I especially didn't want her to believe something just because I say it. I did not want that. Because that's still the same dynamic, and I was caring for her thinking process, right? How are you caring for your kid's thinking process? So I had to think really deeply. Am I imposing something on my kid in this moment? And if I was, I would avoid it, you know. And I still do that. When I have something to talk to about my kid, I'll think about it and I'll feel. Do I have attachment? What am I holding on to? Do I have an expectation? And is there a disappointment, something like that I might be, harboring that's really about my inner child stuff? So then I turn inward and I clean it all out. And then I talk to her and it's amazing. And so, do you have defining moments in your life where you kind of realize something about life, especially in your teen years? It's important to reflect on that, because when you reflect on that, it helps you be more aware of the process of growing up, and then you can merge with your kids in the process of growing up rather than be the obstacle always. It's so painful to be the obstacle always as a parent, you know, and we often feel like we're the obstacle always as the parent. But there's nothing the kids can do about that. They are who they are. That's how they are. What we can do is make different choices, right? And that's what my account is all about. That's what all my content is about. I have on my YouTube channel, I have almost 200 videos now. And here on Facebook, where I'm going live today, I've got hundreds of articles and tons of videos that you can watch. And I post a video, every day, although soon it's going to be 3 times a week. And I have so much content. So please go through it. People say, well, how does this look in reality? But I have tons of stories in all these videos. I've been posting so many videos. And so please go through them. There's so much information. It'll really help. And also follow me in all the spaces at Meaningful Ideas. And if you want to check out my free course, it's called Guiding Without Controlling. Please check that out. That's at meaningfulideas.com. And that's everybody. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Peace out.